Hello, welcome back to my channel. We're back again with Finnish mythology. Today we'll be checking out the video titled The Swan in Finnish Mythology. The Swan. Wow. I love Finnish culture because almost everything means something. And that's why I'm interested in checking out this video. I don't know what swan actually stand for in Finnish mythology. So you guys, let's check it out. I love the sight. The swan is just doing its thing. We're about to learn about the swan.
Have a little look at different mythologies, different folklore stories around the world. And more than likely, I'm 90% sure that a swan will always come up everywhere you look. Celtic mythology, Norse mythology, Hindu mythology. Swans are just everywhere. For some reason, we're just drawn to swans for some reason. And maybe I think it's because of the fact that, well, for me, when I think about a swan and when it's just gliding by a lake, there's some sort of a mystique to that, you know? There's a tranquility as well. It's a peaceful moment, but also a little bit eerie as well. It's hard to really explain. And then as well, when you look at these stories as well, most of them, or in fact all of them when it involves a swan, are fairly sad stories. For example, The Children of Lear. That's an Irish folk tale to do with a high king, and he meets this witch who he marries, and then the witch turns his kids into swans. And they are swans for thousands of years. And it's a very sad story as well. And Finnish folklore and mythology is no different, because it too has its own, you could say, swan story. Before I do tell that Finnish tale of the swan, the whooper swan specifically is actually the national bird of Finland. And you'll see it on euro coins as well. Sometimes you'll see this particular swan there. And most Finns will tell you that the sight of swans coming back after the winter does kind of give them a little bit of joy and a little bit of hope, because it means obviously springtime is coming back, and the sight of swans, because they're so beautiful, you know, it's a great moment, you know, and especially the sound of a swan as well, that almost gives them a bit of joy. This particular Finnish folktale that involves a swan is called the Swan of 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄, and it's a very somber story. I'm going to get into it now and tell you guys. Basically, it involves the hero Lemminkainen, and Lemminkainen is madly in love with a woman called Louhi, one of her daughters.
Is it the same Louhi I heard about in one of those Kalevala stories that demanded for something that never existed, the queen? Is it the same Louhi? You guys let me know in the comments, okay?
Who are meant to be absolutely beautiful. Now the thing about Louhi is that you have to, I suppose, remember for this story is that Louhi, you could say, is the wicked mistress of Pohjola. It's this mystical place that is said to be dark,
I think it's the same
desolate,
Louhi.
and just unforgiving. And she is the ruler of this particular land. And as I said, her daughters are absolutely beautiful. So Lemminkainen wants to marry one of her daughters. But she's not going to be that easy. She wants this hero to perform a specific task. She wants him to go on a journey to the underworld of 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐿 and bring back the lifeless body of the Swan of 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐿. Now 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐿 is this underworld place in Finnish mythology, like Hades, you could say.
Wow. Louhi sure knows how to demand for outrageous things. Like, she's always asking for the most. My God, what a queen.
all right? And it's said to be like an island. And going around the island is obviously black, dark water. And in this water is a giant swan that just glides around. And Louhi wants 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 to bring back this swan. And then in doing so, he will be able to marry one of her daughters.
Wow.
Now, the hero 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 did actually manage to get to the underworld. And then when he got to the underworld, when he got
really
to
loved her, right?
he seen the swan. The swan, as I said, was just gliding around like it usually does, just peacefully, you know, a little bit of an eerie scene. But then, just as he was about to strike the swan started to sing. It is said like this beautiful song, but it was also a very like heartbreaking song as well. And 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 just couldn't kill this particular swan.
Oh no.
In the meantime, one of the gods of the underworld, this place where 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 is in, sent a poisonous snake to bite 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. Because you could say 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, the hero, was like under this kind of a spell. The swan is like putting him under a spell. As the swan keeps on singing, 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 is just like getting more and more deeply kind of, you know, entranced by this particular song, because it's said to be like, as I said, a heartbreaking song. And then as he's entranced in this song, the snake bites him. And then he gets pushed down into the waters of 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. Now, as the story goes on further, it's not the end of it, by the way. Yes, he's there, like, in the bottom of this river, of these dark, desolate waters. His mother actually does manage to get down and get him back to life. But one thing that he always remembers for the rest of his days is the Swan of 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿's song.
This was really interesting, but then the video seemed incomplete. Like, I want to know, guys, did he die? The guy, the name, I can't pronounce it, I don't want to get it wrong. Did he die or did he survive? Wow. He felt pity. He was so emotional by the song that the Swan of 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 was singing, and couldn't kill it. And then something bad happened to him. He was bitten by a snake. How tragic. Wow. This story is really interesting. I really want to watch the full story. I want to know what happened. Did he go back to Louhi with the swan or not? How did it end? I'm interested. You guys leave your recommendations in the comments. Okay, I want to check the full story out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.